Welcome. Welcome. Careful, I can whistle really, really loud. Every PE teacher needs a built-in whistle. Okay, Lisa is making her way up, so she'll get us ready here. So welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Jody Clark. I'm the current board president. And I'm calling the meeting to order. I forgot about a minute taker. Lisa will help me take a minute. Oh, there you are. Thank you, Robin. We're calling the meeting to order at 12:22. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Chuck already told me we have a quorum. We don't really need it today because we're not taking a vote, but I thought it would be a nice thing to double check. For our chalice lighting, it is right here. We light this chalice to mark this midpoint, remembering the light we've shared and seeking strength for the journey ahead in love and service. I'd like to do approval of minutes. I did hear there could have been some difficulty finding them, so if people want to delay this and approve them in June, you can. But there were minutes out there with a link in the intercom. Does anybody feel comfortable making a motion to approve? Okay, Lynn makes a motion to approve, and Barb, I'll take Barb Dre as a second. So Lynn Richards, number one. Number two, everybody in favor of the minutes? Anybody opposed? Nobody opposed? Oh, one opposed. Are you opposed up back there?
I just haven't seen them.
You haven't seen them. Okay, so one opposed, and anybody abstaining? Okay, one abstaining because I know she also didn't see them. Okie dokie, let's move on. So our first up is the finance report. Lindsay Scott is going to be doing that for us. So Lindsay, your stuff is not in here.
Why didn't it get in?
I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. There you go. Wait, no, I just have your name.
Yeah, I never got any slides from her.
I don't know. Can you wing it?
I can wing it.
Wing it.
Okay. Winged it. All right. I'm here to tell you that the state of our financial health is good. Through the first 6 months of the year, our pledge revenue was up about 2.5% over last year at $223,402. Our expenses were below last year at $191,394, giving us a net income of about doing the addition, $71,000. Now, you may think, wow, that's a lot of net income at this point. But for the first half of the year, we get a great deal of our pledge revenue. So we need to be ahead at this point in time in order to break even by the end of the year. Because a lot of people give their pledges, so they want to make the calendar year tax deadline. So 71,000 is right about where we should be, so that's good. We had a couple significant changes from how we did things last year in how the office was organized and maintenance, and those changes have resulted in a lot of savings, and that's part of the savings that you'll see. I wanted to make a couple other notes. First of all, just that our pledge year, our church calendar works from July 1st to June 30th. So July 1st to the end of December is our half-year point. And I already made the point about our pledge revenue is mostly collected during the first half of the year. The budget process begins in the spring and sets out what money the church expects to spend for the following church year. It is important for all teams, committees, staff, and individuals who who would like to have money to spend to submit a detailed request to Mary Ellen Johnson at maryellenjohnson@verizon.net. The budget requests are important for two reasons. The obvious reason of knowing how much money the congregation would like to spend, but also, just as critically important, knowing what ideas and plans and visions the various teams, committees, groups, staff, and individuals have for the church for the following year. As part of this process, we start a stewardship campaign, pledge campaign, which also occurs in the spring, to raise most of the funds necessary to pay the bills and to meet the goals and vision of all of the groups that submitted their budget of what they want to do for the coming year. So that's very important. I want to end, well, not end, because I will ask for questions if you have questions. I want to next to end by saying thank you to all of you for your pledges, your financial contributions, your personal contributions to the church. We're a church who has a very high collection rate, which means you're really good at keeping your promises, which is important because that's how we can pay our bills. I guess that's about it. Does anyone have any questions? I'm sorry that the slides didn't make it.
When are those budget requests due?
There will be emails going out to describe, to give you the idea of when they're due, and there will be more information about the budget request process coming in the future. In fact, some of it will be coming next week. Any other questions? So we're in good shape right now, thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Okay, our famous Joe Meyer.
Here I am. Oh dear. That doesn't look quite right, but, oh yeah, no, it's good. It'll be fine. What was I gonna say? Oh, hi, I'm Joe Meyer. And these people up here are my IU people. I love these people. Nothing would happen without a team, and I just want to make that clear. Okay, so I put these in. You're going to see my famous CC, what's it called? Status summary spreadsheet. You can't read that, can you? No. Yeah, I figured you couldn't, but that's okay. What I want you to see on there is all that green. What's that? I know. It's okay. It's all right. So all the things in green are things we've already done. And I bet some of you have tried to look at this and said, that's way too complicated for me. It's really not that complicated. The stuff on the left-hand side are all of the projects. The next column is the estimate that we put in. The next column is the bid that we got or how much we spent, you know. And so if you are interested in any one project, you can look at this thing. I'll post it. I'm going to put this on in the e-news again. So every once in a while you see this in the e-news. You can go in there and there's a comment. That big long thing is just a comment about, you know, what's going on with that project. So we'll just spin through these. And at the end, the thing at the bottom that you can't read is that we've actually, we have 93% of the pledged amount collected, which is frickin' amazing, right? I mean, Lindsay just said we have a high collection rate. That means you people are keeping your promises. I'll just say it again. It's awesome. And then the next thing, the little tiny thing you can't read, says that we've spent 48% of those funds. So it's been 2 years, and I have a year left, but it may go 4. Who knows? You know, but we're in good shape. So I'm just going to run through quickly the things that we did since the last meeting in June. Okay, so we had Marcia Albright gave us 20 solar panels, and they're on the east side of the church. You can see them there on the top roof. And we paid about $12,000, $12,600 to have those installed. The stairs have been redone and really nicely by a handyman that Diana found. That's a non-stick finish on there. And by the way, the cost there includes some money I put aside. It probably isn't right, but Diana and Jody are working on putting lighting on those stairs, which is, again, amazing. Look at that. You guys all drove in here and saw the driveway, right? It's not cracked anymore. I didn't have a picture of it. These are the memorial walls that if the windows were open, you might be able to see. We did work with trying to get the stormwater that comes off the roof of the building, especially off the roof of that stair, just was tearing up the path and was endangering the sidewalk that we're hoping to build from the parking lot to the main entrance. So that's done too. So here are the remaining projects, and the ones in red are things that we have a big start on. So the stage ramp, the AC for the barn, an outdoor pavilion, technology upgrades a lot of those have been done. So I'll just go through some of those. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but this is our concept for the ramp that would go up to the stage. So what would happen is the stage, and this is just a first try. Don't anybody get too excited, like, oh, that's terrible. This is what we have as a concept, and we're going to talk to more people about it, and we've got a price for it. So basically, the ramp would start over here, the stage would come out, the ramp would come up to a landing, and then go behind the stage, and then come around. So Chris Hill said the biggest advantage of this thing is that kids can hide behind that wall for, performances and such. So keep that in mind. I know those aren't very clear photos, but we've actually put a down payment on a 20 by 32 outdoor pavilion. So it's very nice. It's exposed wood, stained, and we're hoping to build that this coming summer. Okay, the air conditioning. We've been very busy trying to get contractors to bid this and to get our drawings all squared away, and we have 3 contractors. We've met with 2 of them already. We have one estimate, and that estimate is almost exactly what our budget number is. So I've been saying all along that, oh golly, we better watch out, the air conditioning might go way over, and it looks like we might be in good shape. But until, I've told these guys they have to give me a number by Friday. So I think we're in good shape there. So all this talk about, and it may come up, one of the things that's on that spreadsheet is a number that shows where we are relative to the budget. And right now, if we got everything on budget, we'd have a $55,000 surplus. If we paid for everything exactly as we guessed. But remember, those were big guesses. So, and I still anticipate that this will be more than our budget, but it won't be $55,000 more. So that's good news. And then lastly, I'll just say that since July, we've had 8,000 in new pledges. So that's freaking amazing too, right? So it's never too late to for new and existing members to check in. Oh, here. Anybody have any questions? Sure. That's an excellent question, and I have the answer to that, but not at the top of my head. I did get a chart from one of the people we had talked to. I think it's on the order of 60. I think it's about that. Now that would be in chairs, but it's a big pavilion. Yeah.
And where exactly?
It's going to be, unless things change, and I don't think they will. It's going to be over here between Bellwood, kind of where the little house used to be, and a lot of you probably don't remember the little house, but it's just beyond this window.
The ADA ramp, is that taking all that space out of the platform?
No, the platform's moving forward.
So it's going to be about the same size?
Yeah, the idea is to move this out about 4 feet, and then the ramp would be behind it.
And you need all those walls around it too, just for
Well,
safety,
those walls
right?
are just a way to show that we have to have railing or something so that people don't fall off. Yeah, so, I mean, and frankly, a wall is cheaper to build than a glass screen, which I know there's a lot of talk about, oh, why don't we just put glass in there? Well, okay, we just have to pay for it. We might, yeah, it's just a start. Yeah. Anybody else? All right, thank you. I'll move this down.
All right, so I have no slides, just me. I thought about it, but then I was on vacation, so no. So I'm going to give a sort of a brief overview of where we've been in the last 6 months. Worship at EUCNH has been strong, varied, and well attended. We regularly draw between 70 and 100 participants on Sunday mornings. And we have a regular, small still, but regular engagement with children and families who are participating in our religious education or exploration program and our Sunday services. Our services reflect our shared values, and I hope you find that they contain some spiritual depth and that they are applicable to some extent to contemporary concerns. Highlights include seasonal and interfaith observances like water communion, autumn equinox, Yom Kippur, type service. We've had thematic sermons and series on the fourth and first principles, and I have introduced these deep dive Sundays, which I promise I will get your feedback on in mid-February. One thing that has been really important to me and to Robin, and having Robin as a colleague and co-conspirator has been amazing and wonderful, is that we are really working on intentional multi-generational services. So when we have a multi-generational service, it is intentional. It's not just we don't have RE, so the kids are in the back. And we are also working on ways to really embrace and incorporate families into all of our programs here. And of course, you've already heard a service that she and I have done, inviting all of you to participate in multi-generational connection. So I also want to say something I did say at this last meeting. The Sunday services team is amazing here. I have never worked with as dedicated and talented a group as the one that we have here. And I have said to them that the vagaries of my life affect not only me, but sometimes all of you. And knowing that the Sunday services team is a group that can step in at the last minute under many different circumstances to make sure that whatever may be going on in my crazy life doesn't affect your ability to come together and worship together. I have to tell you, it is just a tremendous gift to me. So I thank the Sunday services team for all the work that they do. That extends to our wranglers and the choir and our pianists, because we have such a strong team all the way around, and it is truly a blessing to me, and I know to all of you. So I wanted to acknowledge that. I've also had the privilege in the last 6 months of officiating several rites of passage, including some memorial services and a child dedication. I've also offered pastoral presence to families both within and extending beyond our congregation. So I think that as time goes on, we will become more widely recognized as a safe place for people to come for a lot of different reasons. Pastoral care has remained a significant part of my ministry. I have confessed this, and I will continue to confess that pastoral care is not my strength, and it is not my point of entry into ministry. It is, however, something I am committed to and take very seriously, and am blessed to have a wonderful pastoral care lay pastoral care team. And just recently, John Ballant stepped in for me in a very special way, in a very private moment. And again, you all are tremendous and amazing. You take care of each other in ways that many groups of people simply do not. And it has made it much easier for me to connect where I can connect, because I think it's important for people who are suffering in some way to have the minister come and represent the congregation as a whole and reach out. And I see a number of people for whom we have done that, and some people I wish I had done better. But having the lay pastoral care team, which then comes and really expresses the congregation's love and care, is just a tremendous, again, a blessing for me and as your minister, and a blessing for the whole congregation. We are currently, the lay pastoral care team is currently making a transition to new software which integrates with Breeze. If you've been on Breeze lately, you might have seen a button called Notebird. Ignore that. It'll let you sign up, but then you can't do anything, because it is a confidential software that lay pastoral care uses to easily access your profiles, to be able to take notes and to share what we understand are the needs and the gifts of people in the congregation. So you have to be invited to go further than signing up, so don't bother signing up. I mean, unless you just want to, but it really doesn't do anything for you. We've also really made a point of having a pastoral presence at congregational events, youth gatherings, and significant community moments. Several worship services were intentionally designed to foster individual spiritual growth, especially during times of social polarization and congregational transition. So in addition to Deep Dive Sundays, we've had book discussions, and we're looking to continue to develop opportunities for you all to get together and deeply encounter spiritual material, psychological material, insights from whatever discipline that will help you move gracefully, confidently through this crazy time we're living in. In terms of social justice and public witness, I've been focusing on grounding our actions in our principles, and we talked extensively from the pulpit about the fourth principle. I've also participated in interfaith and civic spaces, including offering a prayer at a regional suicide prevention event and engaging with the Pennsylvania Interfaith Impact Network. They have a religious leaders group that I am participating in. And in terms of our administration and institutional health, we are healthy in so many ways. And I, again, want to say that having such a competent finance committee and such a dedicated capital campaign group, wow, so much goes on here. So many people give of their time and effort, and we are a congregation that's healthy and strong. Robin and I have been focusing on strengthening administrative systems, organizing shared drives, improving processes, supporting staff and volunteers. We've been working with the board and in committees to reduce some of our evening meetings, to intentionally make information easily accessible and communication work for people. I've also provided some non-legal advice in governance and education to the board and to the bylaws team. And, again, we have an amazing board. And finally, I guess looking ahead, I want to say that I am a minister in good standing with the UUA. I am not a member of the UUMA, the UU Ministers Association, which is a separate organization. I've decided not to continue my membership in that organization because at GA they were so thrilled with everybody being on the same page, and I'm afraid I'm a dissenting voice in a number of their positions. So not being on the same page, I thought I'd just save myself the $750 they want from me to be a member. I am, however, still on their list for e-news and things like that, so I am aware of what's going on, and I am meeting with a couple of different groups of UU ministers who are continuing to serve congregations in the way that we believe is most helpful. So my focus remains on equipping UUCNH to thrive as a spiritually grounded, legally sound, and theologically independent religious community. My priorities include deepening worship, strengthening pastoral care, supporting lay leadership, and helping the congregation navigate social and political complexity with wisdom, compassion, and courage. That's it. Anybody got a question? A burning question? No burning questions. I'm always available.
I just want to say, safety's happy there are no burning questions. Safety's happy there are no burning questions.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to take notes and do this, so bear with me for a second. Okay, so Congregational Life Administrator has two hats. I am the admin in the office, and I am the religious educator, so I'm going to kind of talk one and then the other. On the admin side, I've worked, recently I worked with Verizon to get our bill dropped by a lot of money. I was trying to get us in better shape there. I found us a handyman. He's kind of like, he works with our cleaning group. So we have a cleaning company that comes in and cleans, and then he works with them. So I can just give him a list and say, hey, can you fix this? And he'll come in and fix it, and we pay him a little extra, an hour to do that. Please read the e-news. Please read the e-news. Please read the e-news. Please. We put a lot of effort into that every week. If you go to the end, there's jokes. I mean it. And the same thing is, I am keeping up with all the emails. Everybody sends emails, and I appreciate you all sending me emails. If you guys have something, please send me an email. That's the best way to get me to do it, because I forget when I walk out of here. So that's the admin part, putting together slides, working with Jody, working with the board, joining the board to do the meeting minutes and things like that. On the religious education side, just a couple of things. Like, I am an official member of LREDA, which is the Liberal Religious Educators Association. I went to Vancouver for a week to go to a fall LREDA Con, which was absolutely wonderful. I work with the Ohio Meadville District LREDA chapter. I am one of the leaders of that chapter now because I can't do enough. We are putting together a leadership con for youth. We want to bring back the youth con. Back in the day, youth used to have cons, and they could go to them, and they died with COVID. So We are trying to basically revitalize that, me and a couple other DREs from the area, and we are going to create a leadership con where we teach the youth how to run a con, and so that they can start running cons. So that's very exciting. I am also in the PIN Religious Leadership group. So I've been helping with that as we write mission statements and things like that. I just shout out to my teachers. I'm going to quickly go through it, but for my Bluey class, we call it Bluey because the TV show Bluey, and they learn lessons from Bluey. I've got Abby Vaughn, Lois Truby, Katie Smith, and Isaac Elias, who had his first shot at it today, and he had a great time. I have my neighboring faiths, so they're visiting churches. They're visiting a Jewish temple in the next couple of weeks, and that's Don Lindsay, Tony Palermo, and Chuck Berry. And then in my youth group, I've got Edie Swihart, Brian Sullivan, Bill McAdams, and myself. And then I just have the smattering of wonderful individuals who, if I say, hey, I need help, they show up. And that's Cindy Mitchell, Kelly Sullivan, Nicole Wilkinson, Becca Havermill, John Balance, Mark Swihart, and Ellen Kuntz. So thank you to all of those people that make my job a little easier every week because I don't have to worry about stuff because it gets covered. I want to call your attention to this gigantic screen right here. It's enormous, is it not? This gigantic screen was bought for multiple reasons, but one of them is because of my movie night. So, movie night, that'll come down on the floor. There'll be these big inflatables down here, and the kids can come and watch a movie. There's popcorn. We usually have pizza and drinks for everybody to have. And we're like in 2 weeks, we're watching Zootopia. So, adults are welcome to come join movie night. It's fine. You get some popcorn, get some drinks. We also have Kids Night Out, and I have a lot of volunteers for that, and I appreciate that so much. But Kids Night Out, it's the first Monday they have, we have had a couple of Bellwood people come to movie night and to Kids Night Out, and that's good. We're trying to get more people in the room. So again, if you can bring people in, that would be great. Game night is always a big hit. We actually have been having really good amounts of people. Like, it kind of comes and goes, depends, but I always make sure there's something good to eat. So I'll make soup, or I'll make tacos or something, and then everybody else can bring something. And then open mic night, obviously, was not really any of my invention. That belonged here beforehand, but that is probably one of our most valuable events that we have together here. And then finally, I think I just want to say thanks for putting a lot of faith in me this year. I know I wear a lot of hats, and I kind of run around like a crazy person sometimes, and I appreciate everyone's patience with me. And I will say that Leanne is we do get in trouble together. We're great. We have so much fun. I do really enjoy working with her, and it's been just an absolute joy working with Jody. So I am a very, very, very lucky individual, and I love you all, and I'm so happy to be here. And I think that's it.
There are 2 pens here,
I probably did.
so you pick which one you'd like. Okay, hey Lynn, I have this out of order on our slide, so Julie's actually going to end up next. Sorry, I have the slides in different, whatever. Okay, we're about halfway, and I had this great halfway activity plan, but sometimes things don't quite work out. So we're going to...
It was my fault, sorry.
It's okay. Don't tell him though, Don, because I'm saving it for June. I'm saving it for June because it is pretty good, and some people would really appreciate it. Okay, but because we can't do that, I was a PE teacher. I'd like everybody to stand up, and if you're at home, stand up. Just stretch your shoulders. Tilt your head a little, because I want good energy for the second half. Don't hit anybody next to you. Raise your arms. Make a palm waving, because pretend you're in Florida for just a couple of seconds. You're not going out to the cold. Not Florida? Okay, Panama, I don't know, whatever. Maybe stretch a little, lean forward. Maybe lean back. Wiggle, and now you can have a seat. And since our slides got out of order, Julie's up next, and probably Lynn is following her. So thank you, and we'll carry on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Kant, and I'm here to talk about the Celebration Garden. I am co-chair with Peggy Trevanian, and I have a wonderful group who do the work. First, I do want to thank the Capital Campaign for kind of filling out the money issue so that we could complete the building of the memorial walls. And I don't remember the slides, but if you could, that, okay. Miracle, all right. We have produced kind of a interim pamphlet as a guide to our celebration garden. There are a limited number of copies on the back table, which you're welcome to take as you leave. If you want more information, you can email the Celebration Garden at uucnh.com. Here are the walls that I'm speaking of. These were completed, oh gosh, I've lost track, but within the last year. Just this past September, thank you. We're really happy with it, and it says, it's a little hard to see, but on the walls themselves, on the left one it says Celebration Garden, and then on the right it says Love, Life, Community. Here's an overview of, a bird's eye view of the plans that we began. We've now officially completed phase 1. Now our goal is to fill out the areas between the trees that you see around the outside of the oval, fill that out with bushes and shrubs to give more of a screening effect and more color. These are native trees that we've planted, some of which we have to replant because of the condition of the drainage on the lower side. We have spots. We have 4 memorial benches underneath the pergolas, and we have, if you look at the right, as you come in the entrance to the right and to the left, you'll see a spot for 2 other benches. So this is kind of a point that I wanted to bring out. We are looking, if there's someone that you would like to honor and memorialize, we do have 2 benches that could be purchased. In addition to that, all the donations of funds for the shrubs, trees, and so forth, we welcome any kind of donation along those lines. Cool. So who can use the garden? And I think you can read this one, luckily. As you see, the dark garden has been designed for members and friends of the church and their immediate families. And you can honor your loved ones in several different ways. The memorial walls are tilted slightly because we will have cast bronze plaques put on them for individuals as needed. You can also continue to look at the little remembrance plaques that are on the outside back wall here, outside. They're the same size, but they're not as sturdy. We're hoping to eventually encase that area in kind of a door, which keep the weather. They have to be replaced every 10 years or so, but if we have a clear covering over them, that might help. The third thing that you can do is purchase a memorial stone. We have a set size, and granite is the material, or a bench, as I mentioned, or an entry in our remembrance book. As you leave, the remembrance book right now is a binder, a rather large binder, and our goal is to have a page for every single person who has passed. And we encourage families to submit pages, photos and their memories, stories, to include on 2 pages, so that eventually this will be digitized and available online. But we'd love to see more people. It's another way you can honor those who have gone, as well as helping you remember them when you reach that point in your grief. And that's it. I think I might have one more. Oh, who to contact? There you are. And just to know that all of the shrubs and trees and so forth won't have identifying plaques, because eventually the tree dies and you have to remove the plaque. So, does anyone have any questions? Anyway, we're more than happy to answer them when you do. Thank you.
Okay. Now it's Lynn. Oh, it is Lynn. Okay. I was very confused there for a while. You don't have Bellwood slides, do you?
Well, I wish I had Bellwood slides, because those kids are pretty darn cute, I have to tell you. So, and Jody was very clear that I could not go beyond 5 minutes, so I wrote everything down, and now I'm going to read it to you. But as a teacher, a former teacher, a lifelong teacher, there will be a quiz at the end. So, I'm Lynn Richards, a member of UUCNH since 1988. I actually came here seeking religious education for my then preschooler. The Sunday RE classes at that time were held in the Bellwood Preschool building, and I was captivated by the rich learning environment displayed throughout every room there, and I still am. Fast forward 38 years. For the past 2 years, I have had the privilege of serving as our board liaison to Bellwood Preschool. Ours is a very symbiotic relationship. Here's one example. In a handout to parents, Bellwood says, quote, "Since 1965, Bellwood has operated as a community outreach of the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. In line with the principles of Unitarian Universalism, we teach the principles of respect, kindness, a celebration of diversity, and a sense of wonder for the natural world," end quote. Bellwood's school year is going well this year with full registration, talented staffing, and enthusiastic attendance. Now, since we share our church space, the Bellwood Parent Board meets here at UUCNH monthly in the East Room usually. I attend those meetings as the liaison, and their agenda is always full of learning and community activities that involve the children. You can share in monthly Bellwood updates, which are posted in the intercom, which Robin advised you to read before. So, in October, the article read, quote, "The semi-annual Kid Stuff sale is a win-win situation for all involved. Community members can sell their items and make some money and or get some high-quality items at fantastic and deeply discounted prices. Bellwood raises some much-needed funds to cover the ever-growing costs of running the school, and the church gets some visibility of people who may not know much about Bellwood. Thank you for your kindness and patience," and that's Melissa Nelson talking to us, "as we took over the church those days," end quote. Bellwood also sent UUCNH a $100 donation as part of that thank you. And as you know, our UUCNH bylaws team has been hard at work updating our documents. One of these is a declaration of understanding, written to clarify our relationship with Bellwood. The declaration serves as a set of principles and guidelines for the use of all concerned with the operation of the school. To give another example of our mutual symbiotic relationship, the current director of Bellwood, our UUCNH member Melissa Nelson, signed that previous Declaration of Understanding in 2012 as the president of the UUCNH board. But currently, in her role as Bellwood director, she is revising the Bellwood Declaration along with her treasurer, Joanne Shear, and with UUCNH board members, Jeff Coleman. Jeff, are you here? No. I thought I saw him, though. It must have been like his clone. And myself representing our church. We look forward to maintaining many more years of our mutually beneficial relationship in the future with cooperation, goodwill, and coordination. So, are there any additions? Reverend Leanne or Jody, do you have anything? Excellent. Yeah, she just wants me to be quiet. Nothing else? Okay, here's my question. What's something maybe I said that you didn't know about Bellwood? Oh, you knew everything. Would you like me to call your name and ask you? We'll just leave it at that. Oh, sorry, Barb.
Oh, I did not, I was not aware that you made the parents of the Bellwood kids like you told them about our association with the church and our principles. So that's great.
Oh, good listener there. See that? Oh, wait, I have to change my hat. Okay. I'm still in Richards, but this time the hat that I wear is a part of the Right Relations Council, in which I serve for the past 8 years, actually, along with Maggie Wilson. Maggie's here. Joyce, are you still here? You around? No. Okay. Okay, but right there. All right. I'm technologically challenged. So, Right Relations Council. If I asked for opinions what this title represents, you might say, sounds familiar. Or, are you a part of conflict resolution situations, or perhaps part of the covenantal relations team? But wait, it says council. Where does that belong in the org chart? Well, if you look at the updated version, it's right there along with leadership development in the middle, which is sort of a unique place to be, actually. So here's some history. Since 2018, when Don Rollins served as minister here, we had been known as the Covenantal Relations Team, and we were charged with designing a written process to address serious conflicts that might arise in our community, to mediate among the involved parties in case of conflict, and to participate in conflict resolution and management processes. Now, is there one word that you heard emphasized in that? What was it? Indeed, it was. So, yeah, it was conflict, and it was the team's major responsibility to manage it and to mediate it. Now, that was no small task, as some of you, I'm sure, remember. Members resigned from the team because they felt that they were charged with policing the congregation, and that just didn't represent who they wanted to be. On previous org charts, the Covenantal Relation Team was organized by both the ministry and the governance branches of the church and was placed, as I said, in the center of the chart, and its charge was promoting the UUCNH Congregational Covenant. So let's take a look at our covenant. Where can we find that covenant? On the wall? Well, you moved it. Yep, back there. It's back there. Where else? On the website. Yeah, it's on the website. How about? Yeah, it's on the order of service, yep, and it's other places too. I'll leave you to it to find that. Okay, so all those places, and now, Jody, let's see what happens. Yay! You also have a handout, which I have to absolutely say, that was not Robin's doing. You see there's big font, there's repeated fonts. That was my doing, so, yeah. So in the first slide, we're talking about that the covenant is in evidence. We want people to see it, and we want its tone to be gentler, more caring, written more in the spirit of love, as a living relational document, but one that emphasizes our responsibilities and commitment to one another. It's expected that those that become members of UUCNH will agree to live our carefully crafted covenant when they join. So, the characteristics desired of the Covenantal Relations Team members changed from policing to facilitating and mediating. And there was a name change several years ago. Members of the Covenantal Relations Team requested to attend Right Relations Team training to learn about that, which Craft Group funded, to be visible, to be available as a listening ear, as well as to balance the need for confidentiality. And the name of the team was changed to the Right Relations Team. Okay, let's see. I'll just tell you. This year, the members refocused for the title of Covenantal Relations Team to a council to move away from the maintenance of operations and executing of tasks to focus on the work of a council by exhibiting strategic long-term vision and guidance by elected or appointed leaders. So there's a change coming up in how those members of the council will be selected. Okay. So this year at our June annual meeting, members will be asked to submit the names of 3 trusted members of the congregation to be considered to serve on the Right Relations Council. We stole that idea from Reverend Leanne, actually. The council will choose one candidate to present to the minister and the board, and that candidate will then require approval by you, the congregation. Term limits of 3 years have also been added to the council member service times. So that means, finally, I'll have to leave the team. So. Okay. And finally, so now you see a process that involves the minister, the board, and the entire congregation in the makeup of the council, which is tasked with the important job of promoting the congregational covenant and facilitating conflict resolution in accordance with our UUCNH covenant. So are there any additions to my lengthy presentation? Jody, was that more than 5 minutes? Maggie, did you have any? Reverend Leanne? No, Jody, I know she doesn't. She wants me to stop. They might have questions.
I'm seeing if they have questions.
No questions? Okay.
Great, thank you, Lynn. Okay.
All right, there will not be a quiz after this, so. I'm Allison Zadnick. I'm glad to be able to provide a report on behalf of the Compassionate Service Team, whose main initiative this year was the Refugee Support Initiative, which falls under the scope of the Compassionate Service Team. So it was a little over a year ago that the Compassionate Service Team decided to collaborate with the Jewish Family and Community Services, or the JFCS for short, to provide support for refugee families arriving and already settled in the Pittsburgh region. The support you have all demonstrated has led to an incredibly successful partnership with the JFCS and provided much needed care and support through your donated items, financial contributions, and time for the families that we served. And when we first considered pairing up with the JFCS for this initiative, the goal was that we would start out doing 2 or 3 collections the first year. When I sat down to put this together, we did 7 collections this year since our first one in November of 2024, so in just over a year. Here are some of the ways we have helped during the past calendar year. For our first collection, we provided basic home items and coats for a mother and 2 teenagers who were scheduled to arrive and stay in a hotel until their housing became available. In addition to kitchen items, bedding, and warm coats, we delivered food items to the JFCS pantry and also provided a welcoming meal for this family when they literally got off the plane. In February, we provided more extensive home items for a family of 5, so this was probably our largest collection. This included bedding, kitchen items, bathroom toiletries, and cleaning supplies. In May and October, we provided hygiene items for families that were attending a JFCS class that they offered on American culture. So we delivered hundreds of pairs of socks, underwear, hygiene items, and snacks for that collection. Then in June, we collected kitchen supplies for a family of 6, and this is when we asked you to bring in and donate your plates, bowls, glasses, mugs, pots, pans, baking trays. And then in August, we had a request for baby items. We used funds that were donated by UUCNH friends and members, and we were able to provide a stroller, a convertible crib, and a mattress for a new mom and her baby. And then just last month, the most recent collection we did, the JFCS contact, she reached out to share that there were 3 families in need that were already here. They had infants. Two of the infants had already arrived. One was still waiting to arrive. Could we possibly assist with one of them? And thanks to your financial contributions and additional donated items, we provided everything requested for all 3 families. So this included convertible cribs. And for those of you who don't know what the convertible crib is, the one that starts out, it's like a baby crib, and then it goes into a toddler bed, and then a regular kid-sized bed. So these are beds that they're going to be able to use for years. Convertible beds, mattresses, and sheets, 1,200 diapers, 2,000 wipes, baby wipes, and age-appropriate children's toys and books. And our volunteers were able to deliver these items just a few days before Christmas. And as with everything here, many hands have contributed to make this possible. Wanted to give a shout out, thank you to Joan Vondra for putting together the sign-up genius lists that are always done at the last minute and on short notice when we get the request. To Lois Madden, who allowed us to use her home to store some items. And to all the folks who have assisted with the setting up of homes and delivering to the families, which includes Inga Burton-Smith, Chuck Berry, Alan Kuntz, Lois Madden, Susan Minton, and Katie Smith. And to everyone who has donated money and or time and all those, the diapers and the socks and the underwear, thank you so much. And we look forward to another year partnering with the JFCS and doing what good we can do in our part of the world here. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All righty, we are doing great. I have the next few items, so we're just going to roll through them. So bylaws, I just want to give a quick update to everybody. The bylaws committee, or task force I should say, does continue to meet. Chris Hill, Joyce Kepner, Connie Ritzer, Lisa joined, Maggie joined, and myself. It is taking us a while to make our revisions. We're doing a very comprehensive look at bylaws. We're continuing to make some updates, clarify language. We also have a plan to create a question list and then engage an attorney to do a review of the bylaws to assure we're in legal compliance and clarity. So stay tuned because our next step after we get through those 2 bullet points, we will be holding some meetings with everybody that's interested from our congregation to do a review and get your input. So stay tuned. New topic, Tech Support Committee has been doing a lot around our website redesign. Over the past few months, administration and member feedback have identified some need for website improvements. I have to confess, I'm one of those people that'll get out there and I can find something that's broken. And it can be, as we all know, a little frustrating. So the technology team has stepped up and they have been exploring some options for a new and much more user-friendly website. And they're doing a ton of work in this area, so I acknowledge all of them and their efforts. As they're doing this, every effort is being made to minimize this unbudget. We did not budget for any expense for website. So just stay tuned for this and I guess for bylaws as we secure an attorney. Those items are non-budgeted, but the board has a plan if we need to fund either of those 2 in this year. But we don't expect any issues budget-related, but if there ends up being a big surprise, we'll certainly come back and let folks know. But thank you for all your efforts in that. Deep breath, next topic is just a quick board report. So the board at our retreat this summer identified 3 areas of focus or things we're supporting. One was the bylaws, which I just mentioned. We're continuing work on that and supporting, the board supports the efforts for the bylaws revision. We continue to focus on strengthening our Bellwood relationship, including, as Lynn mentioned, updates to the bylaws and Declaration of Understanding. Our relationship really Jeff led the charge starting last year. I think our relationship and visibility with Bellwood has improved substantially over the last couple of years. So I acknowledge everybody that's had input into that. And then our third focus was to support any revitalization of our religious education activities and enhancing our overall church community. And obviously, a purchase like the big screen is one way that we're demonstrating some support. And then the other area we're really doing some ongoing work is we're trying to get some CARs updated, or CARs for all the committees updated, and our policies updated. For those of you that have been around long enough, if you went back and looked at the date on most of the CARs and policies, they were done when Ed Rockman was president. It won't surprise anybody, but that was the last heavy lift of those things. So we're really trying to bring those up to speed because that's been 10 years. It was 2013-ish. All that work was done and it sort of sat there. So we're really trying to refresh all of that. Question?
Could you explain what CAR stands for?
I would be happy to, Midge. Thank you. CAR stands for Charge, Accountability, and Responsibility. So Charge, authority, responsibility. Every committee, so committees report to the board, teams report to the minister. If you come to Leadership Council next week, we're going to give you the handout that outlines all of this. It's very cool, actually. But every committee has to have a CAR because the board doesn't do all of your work or work of this congregation. We delegate to the committee. I'll pick on the finance committee for a minute. We have a great finance committee. They're the experts in finance. They have a charge, authority, and responsibility that delineates what they do, so the board delegates that to them to do those activities, and the board provides oversight. Stewardship committee is the same, they have a CAR, so I could list all the committees, but it's essentially allowing us to delegate a charge, and authority, and a responsibility to the different committees. Many teams also have CARs, don't have to, but some of them do, and they work under the same principle, but teams report to the minister, acting like lay pastoral care on behalf of our ministerial functions. Does that answer the question? That was a great question, Midge, thank you. See what I've learned just being board president? You can learn so much if you join the board. I'm just telling you, it's amazing. I say that I'm actually serious. Is there any other key new business from the congregation? I just want to take a pause, see if there's anything that we didn't cover today that somebody feels is critical business for the congregation. Okay, before we extinguish a challenge, I'd just like to acknowledge everybody that stepped up here today to give us an update. It's important to our congregation to know what's going on as a self-managed, self-run church, independent of the UUA. We manage ourselves, and everybody here is leaning in and doing their part, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. If you have any feedback at any point, always feel free to get a hold of anybody on the board and give us some feedback, and we appreciate it. So, I have my chalice extinguishing reading. Wait, why am I waiting? I see another hand raising. I'm sorry. Midge.
Just wanted to know, maybe I missed it in the e-news, but did you want to introduce the new board member?
We have not voted on him yet, but I will go ahead anyway. So it will be. Okay, so here's the deal. The bylaws, so we have a vacancy on the board. Scott Gorham stepped down. Bless his heart, Greg Gerald, raise your hand, Greg, has offered, thank you. Greg has offered to step in and fill that vacancy. Following the bylaws, this is one of the things I've learned having to be on this bylaws task force. I've learned a lot. You have that opportunity as well. The board can appoint somebody to fill in a vacancy. I don't know why the screen just went blank. That's okay. The board can appoint somebody to fill in for the vacancy, which we will do at our January meeting for Greg. In June, the congregation will make a formal vote, so the congregation will then vote on Greg to finish the rest of the term. So, not that I expect any dissenters on that. Other question, Peggy?
Acknowledge the great work that we did in hiring Jeremy Fisher as our music director.
Yes, yes. Thank you. That is a wonderful addition, as Reverend Leanne alluded to earlier. It takes this village to pull off all of our services, including you, Peggy, on your team there. Okay, anything else going once, twice? Okie dokie. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Even knowing that this particular flame will intentionally end with our ritual extinguishing, we fear not its end, for we know with brave hearts that from every ending of our lives, we are sent forth to make a new beginning. And we're adjourning at 1:25. How much closer to an hour can you get than that? Well done, everybody. Thank you.